how does this interact with or intersect with the whole synaptic web? Because that keeps coming up in a lot of these conversations.
Sure.
Like that's such a high-level concept.
The synaptic web was something that it's not something we invented. It's something that we kind of observed and wrote down for the purposes of designing the product. So when we believe that if you're going to build a product, you probably should think about the world that product is going to land in, right? Because when you start these things, this took us 18 months, right? What's going to be true in 18 months? Or what's going to be true in 24 and 48 months?
Looking forward.
Right, and so to do that, you really need to just do some slightly deep thinking about why and where and what gaps are in the marketplace and what cultural trends are occurring. And so the synaptic web was simply an observation that we made, which was that, I'll give you a concrete example. In the tweet stream, you don't need to mark the tweets as read, right? You're not reading every tweet. And which is very much like a synaptic fire. Each tweet is like a synaptic firing. It's just a stream of data. And it's actually the pattern in the tweets that matters more than each individual tweet.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
So people are just looking at it and looking for trends, looking for what's the pulse is, right?
Right, and people do this every day. Like, human beings are meaning machines. We look for meaning, we look for patterns. And so it's not like a technology necessarily that would do this. But certainly you could create technologies that would observe patterns and make inferences from them. And you could imagine the number of times I interact with you on Facebook is actually measured by Facebook, and they use it in a thing called EdgeRank, which works out what to put on the newsfeed.
Oh, right.
The newsfeed is essentially a synaptic process. It's looking at how many interactions I have with you, how many interactions that object had with itself, how many hops were those people who interacted with it from you.
Although I changed that. I immediately changed that because I noticed that I wasn't getting all the updates, though.
Yes.
Because if you do that, you're like, well, I didn't even see that update that person said because I had to switch on.
Right.
Facebook
but the Facebook newsfeed is a synaptic engine.
Right.
It's just our terminology, which is to look at the firings and the patterns, make inferences from it, and I actually believe that there are just a whole range of startups you could build just observing existing behavior and making clever inferences from it.
That's a better way of explaining it than some of the times I've heard it in blogs and stuff like that. It's more the pattern part of it, the pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition, right.
Yeah, and I think that it just gets so high level in some of those discussions.
It does, yeah.
Real quick, last question. Now we understand how the big tier ones can use their own content with this product, with Echo. But now, would they ever be able to pull content from other places? And if so, is there legal issues there? Like, you know what I mean? Can you pull content from other places?
Actually, one of our favorite use cases that just went live maybe 2 or 3 days ago is Lady Gaga. So we're running literally the front page of ladygaga.com, right? And so it used to be a series of official press releases and boring stuff. It's now every time she tweets or favorites a YouTube video or posts on Foursquare, that stuff is pulled into her stream in real time. And people are able to engage with it, like, reply, share, etc. But one of the other tabs is a real-time stream of all her fan pages. So there are like these big fan communities who sprung up around Lady Gaga.
That's very cool.
She's pulling in all their content, snippets of their content, into her official website.
And of course, they're fine with it.
They're loving it.
They're like, I'm on Lady Gaga's homepage? Okay,
right,
I will do that.
Yeah, and so this notion that she has elevated her fan community to be a first-class citizen on her official fan site. You know, it's free content for Interscope and for Lady Gaga. It's sticky, it's highly social, and it's, you know, amazing distribution for their network. And so absolutely, you can use Echo to aggregate any data source, whether it's social media, it's content from third-party sites, or it's the activity that's not being captured by your site right now.
Cool. That is a great place to end, but unfortunately, we had to end on Lady Gaga. What?